Hey, this is AV Unit 4A for CollectionDX.com. In this review, I will be highlighting the transformation, special features, and other notables of the DX Soukou Sharin Go Rotor GT from the 2008 Super Sentai series Engine Sentai Goanger. Soukou Sharin means armored wheel, power wheel, something like that, and GT, the letter G, the letter T. GT is a real-world term for that they use in like stock car racing, professional racing, something like that. I don't know. This thing rolls very, very well. It's very well balanced, even with the token sole in it later on. It's about an inch and a half wide, and it's about 6 inches in diameter. It's pretty generous. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. A little heavier than I thought it'd be too. It comes with the Go Rotor comes with a little ramp. I didn't get to photograph it, but there's a little triangle that sits right there, a little triangle there, and all you do is you just line them up. I mean, it's gonna twist and turn and do all kinds of interesting things, but it's just easier if you turn it to the side like that. So, and then you just push it off. What's different from previous DX-sized engine sets, those usually come with engine soles. Well, Go Rotor is an original design that was made on Earth. It's not an engine. It's designed by engines, but it's not an engine. Therefore, it does not come with an engine sole. It comes instead with a token sole. Token is like fighting spirit or something like that. I'm not certain. Notable difference is instead of an engine number down here, it says GT. Instead of saying engine sole, it says attack. So, you activate it by doing this. You just pull back on the tab there. Token sole, seto. Ah, no activation sound. How interesting. That is interesting. The sound effects are arranged differently from the way we usually, from the way most, usually you press one side, you get character sound effects. You press the other side, you get generic one-size-fits-all. You press both buttons, and it gives you, gives you a crackle of a radio now, yeah, roger that, or whatever it is. With the Go Rotor, it does, okay, that's dependable. There's 3 buttons, 1, 2, 3, and then there's that little triangular thing down there. So, you have to treat this one a little differently. You treat it as if each button makes a different sound effect. That's the only sound effect on that side. I like that one. And of course, the sound effects can be heard through those holes in the back. You can tell that these sound effects are made they're designed primarily to be used in wheel mode here. So, and the interesting thing is each one of these buttons affects how this one's going to turn out. So, if you press the button on the left, you're going to hear, I love that. You press the right button, and it doesn't matter which one, and then you press this. You press the middle button, and you get this. So each of the buttons has a different function on it. Don't you go nowhere. Transformation is as follows. Very simple transformation, very easy to work with, very easy to learn. I don't even have to look at it, and it just changes. Let's see, that was probably 15 seconds. Oh yeah. And then in the series, it actually does this in the series. This just latches on. You didn't hear it, but trust me, it latches on there. That's it, that's the transformation. Easiest thing in the world. The Go Rotor in action mode. I kid you not, that's what it's called. Poseability is as follows. The head does rotate. The arms do twist outwards quite a bit. The elbows forward and backwards. The hips move outwards comfortably. The hips also twist side to side. The knees twist comfortably. You can do that if you want to, but it won't go any further than that. And the hips also, the hips do not twist forward. Why? Why? The hips do not twist forward. Bandai? What were you guys thinking? I praise you. I praise you. Domo arigato. All those things, however you say it. I love the posability in this thing. This thing has posability on it unlike anything we've ever seen before in Super Sentai. For DX-sized figures, this is a spur-of-the-moment pose. You couldn't do this with any other DX-sized robot in the last 33 years. You couldn't do it. You might have gotten close to it, but never, you know, there was always something that got in the way of posability. There have been occasions in the last 5-6 years where, you know, something got in the way of the hips, or something locked up in the hips or knees, and there were so many opportunities, or it would have a joint that would, you know, twist inwards instead of forward and backwards. I mean, it was always something that happened that would interfere with the posability. So thank you so much for, I've been waiting, since I've known about it, I've been waiting for 16 years for DX-sized figures to come out. So that was wonderful. Thank you very much. But why the hips? Here's why. It's got these frickin' buttons here. And try as I might, I can't think of anywhere else where they'd be able to fit. I thought about buttons on top, but it might have made things complicated. I doubt that. Yeah, we probably would have lost the posable head. You know, we probably would have lost that. So, yeah, this is a bittersweet victory in my mind. There's one other little thing that I'd like to point out. In the series, well, we know that Engine Soul cartridges and change soul cartridges, we all know that they're interchangeable because they're all the same size, shape, and they have the 3 buttons on the bottom. They all act the same way. In episode 30, it's referred to as Grand Prix 30, Sosuke decides to volunteer Speedor's Engine Soul, to stick it inside of the Go rotor, just to see what would happen. And unfortunately, well, things didn't turn out too well at first, but then eventually it was possible for Go rotor to be able to fight alongside the Rangers, not just alongside the engines, the engine combinations, but it could also fight at human size. And so I must focus on the way the sound effects work at this scale as well. Now, nothing is going to change inside of the Engine Soul cartridge. It's going to act exactly the same as we come to expect. You just have to learn, you know, which buttons do which. So it's perfectly normal in that regard. And then, as we know, when you push up on both buttons at the same time, and by the way, you can push up on either both of these or this. Either way, it'll do the same thing. Well, that's part of the problem is, for some reason, the Engine Soul is kind of shifting around in there kind of odd, so I'll get it. I'll get it. Come on. Where is it? Thank you. There it is. So, even though, you know, that's how the wiring works out, but for some reason, if you look carefully enough, you probably won't see it on video, but if you look carefully enough, you're going to see that it shifts around on the inside. So, you can stick any Engine Soul into the Go Rotor GT. That's not, you know, against the rules or anything, because it actually happens in the series. It would be pretty negligent and foolish of me not to mention a certain aspect that it's so blindly obvious. I'm just fortunate that I happen to have one of these things. This is the, in Japan, this is the DX Tackle Boy from the 1995 Super Sentai series Choriki Sentai O-Ranger, which nobody liked. I haven't seen it. In the US, it was the 96 series Power Ranger Zeo, which I did like, by the way. And in the Power Ranger series, it's known as the Warrior Wheel. So this is a deluxe Warrior Wheel. This isn't Tackle Boy. So we all remember how this thing works. Basically, you press on the tabs here, and yeah, I got mine secondhand, so it has a tendency to do that. It was a football-themed figure, but you can see the difference in height between the two. So it doesn't have that doesn't have an auto transformation. It's got the sound effects in it, which act as an alternative to the Tackle Boy's auto transformation. So the DX Soukou Sharin Go Rotor GT is one of my favorites. It has become one of my favorites. One of the biggest reasons is the poseability options in it. The other reason is, you know, you can change the sound effects on it, which is pretty cool. It looks cool. It poses great. Got good sound effects. You just have to learn how to work them. It's also big. I mean, I get to put it next to Gunbur-O and Engine-O here. I decided to give Gunbur-O some exposure on YouTube and CDX instead of Engine-O hogging it all the time. I've also put this. I've decided to put the DX Go Rotor onto my my must-haves for the Christmas shopping season. I think this is a standout in Super Sentai. It really is notable. That's something that none of the other engines from the engine line, that none of them have been able to accomplish. So I strongly recommend getting it. The hips, like I said, are the biggest. Doggone it! Why can you put those hips on there? I mean, that would, by themselves, it's nothing special, but when you get so close with everything else, that's when it hurts the most. So, Bandai, for 2009, please don't let me down again like this. That hurt. But thank you very much for giving us this. This is spot on. So, this is AV Unit 4A for CollectionDX.com, signing off.